everybody. Welcome to Square It Up. I'm Bill Swinford.
And I'm Monica Daniels.
And I'm still cold.
You're still cold from last night?
From last night, yeah. We live streamed a parade last night in downtown Marion in the 20s. It was in the 20s.
Oh, was it? I'm glad I didn't know that then.
I think it was.
I probably would have been colder than
I was. My body was
though.
telling me it was in the 20s.
It was pretty cold out
Probably
there.
with a little bit of a wind chill. There wasn't much wind, but it was cold. And I'm still cold, and I'm trying to get warm. I usually warm up pretty easily, but I mean, I slept in my coat last night.
You slept. Well, that was cold if you had to sleep in.
All right, the skit's over. I'm taking the coat off. I'm really kind of warm. But I was trying to make a point about how cold it was last night, and then how cold it was the night before. We've been 2 nights in a row out celebrating Christmas early with folks.
We did the Heron Hometown Christmas on Saturday night.
Did you get the snow?
We did. There was snow. There was both real snow and fake snow.
Oh, both. You had both going?
Yeah,
Okay.
very Merry Marion last night had fake snow. Heron Hometown Christmas had real snow.
And fake snow, yeah. And
fake snow.
And real snow.
And fake snow.
So they were blowing snow off of the Frenchman's Widow.
Oh, that's
that
right.
restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
Off the balcony.
Does that dissolve or something? Is that some kind of dissolvable snow? Or
So the one at Heron's Hometown actually hit the ground. They were pretty big pieces.
Impressive.
The one at Marion.
Well, it started high up. They had it on top of the Citadel building downtown.
Yeah, it was pretty high.
And so you could look up and you could say, is it snowing? You'd see against the lights, you'd see the snow. And right there next to the building, it was pretty cool. But it didn't seem to get very close to the ground.
No, but it had a nice effect. When it hit the lights, it looked like gold in the lights. It was very pretty. And it still had a very nice effect.
I don't think we even introduced ourselves, but I'm Bill Swinford.
And I'm Monica Daniels.
And that's Tom Mann.
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Tom is here. It's for us, it's a Monday morning. I'm not sure when you're watching this, but it's the start of a new week. But it's a fun time of year, isn't it?
It is. It's a really pretty out. I like this time of year.
Yeah, Christmas music starts playing this time of year. We're all happy.
And you're on board with it.
Yeah, I'm on board with it. After Thanksgiving, we're doing great.
Yeah.
Hey, I thought of a fun thing that we're
leftovers.
going to do at the end of the show. Remind me, it's related to Christmas music. We'll bring that up later. Okay. But let's talk a little bit about our weekend. Our Heron Hometown Christmas is a tradition that started
5 years ago.
5 years ago.
Yeah. So Rhonda Shoemake heads up the committee. They meet all year long to plan it. So a lot of thought goes into it. It takes hundreds of volunteers to make it work. And we were there Saturday night. All the little kids were out there meeting Santa. Santa was in the Heron Civic Center. The Heron Civic Center was full of activities. So the kids were getting out of the cold. They were playing a lot of games. There were food trucks there. A lot of the businesses had specials going on. They were giving away free hot cocoa. They also had activities for the kids. So it was a good time had by all. Lots of good memories. I had a live nativity scene in the chamber parking lot.
That's put on annually by the West Monroe Apostolic Church.
Yes. And
our pastor friend, Jordan Griffith, who cuts hair. The Razor's Edge, right there close to Crown Brew in Marion, right on North Market Street, just off the square.
And I got a chance to meet all of them. They were such sweet souls.
Oh, great!
Yeah,
great.
The whole town was just very lit up and a good place to be.
You saw my friend Michael Bruce wearing his Dickens top hat.
Yeah.
Michael Bruce is a photographer that takes some beautiful photos, very creative, artistic photos. He was down there, took a nice photo of the woman dressed as Mary in the nativity scene. He also took a photo on the Marion Square that we'll share in some way on our socials. Maybe if you're watching the podcast, I'll throw it on right now. That is just really creative of using the lighting and the skating and a little bit of the snow that was falling. I guess Saturday snow fell in downtown Marion as well. So we had he sent that to me, and he's always good to send us nice photos.
Yeah.
And so many talented people to capture all of the wonder of the season, and they're very generous to share their creations with us at the Swinford Media Group, and we appreciate it. And we've got our own talented people as well, Tony Kendricks, and others that are capturing. Abbie, Cullum.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Saturday at Heron Hometown Christmas, we did go over to Frenchman's Widow, had some hot cocoa there. We walked over. A lot of folks lined up for the carriage rides too. That was, I think, that was a kind of new thing. For Heron,
there was free carriage rides that was sponsored by Louis P&R, and also Rhiannon Storm's Country Financial also sponsored the carriage rides.
You know, an event that has started as a grassroots effort that continues to do really well. And then we have a beautifully lit downtown in Heron, and the same thing, of course, in Marion. As we moved over to Marion for the Very Merry Marion Christmas Parade last night, 100 entries, and I think most of them showed up. I think there were a couple that maybe
they didn't make it.
Got cold.
Oh, right. Well, it went by really fast. So all the parades all of the floats were just super creative, a lot of fun, and when I first heard 100 entries, I thought, oh, this is gonna be a long night. But it wasn't. It wasn't a long night. It was every float was really interesting, and even though it was freezing cold, I couldn't complain really much other than I was cold, but it was a good time.
In addition to being marching in the elements and putting your floats in the elements, just think about putting those floats together.
Yeah. And
all of those lights that were strung on. We had a lot of trailers, of course, traditional kind of floats, and then you had all this large equipment that some of our more industrial or contractual contractors, excavators, bringing a lot of their gear through, lit up.
Right. And
People
you and Aaron were making jokes about how they just got done with the square, so they just that was the good
making a final
What about
appearance.
the Swinford Media dumpster? Was that part of the thing? You should have done that. You just done that on purpose. Had a Swinford Media and going down the road in a dumpster, and you guys were up there waving, and that would have been great.
That would have been great. Yeah. No, that's just it. We got to kind of sit and watch. There have been times when we've been in parades, but we typically live stream them, and they've done such a nice job setting us up now where you have the stage and we get to view it. We're not the judges. We're not judging anything. We're not, nobody wins this parade.
Yeah.
But we do get to watch it go by.
Chris Pardon played a big role in setting up last night with the lights on the buildings.
Midwest Music Supply.
And his float was...
Good job.
Yeah, his float was spectacular, as always.
Yeah, the Vibe Band. And they do something akin to Mannheim Steamroller kind of a presentation, lights and synths and a full band and instrumentation. And they were doing Carol of the Bells and flashing the lights, and you could just feel the bass, right here when they got close to you. And so that was really well done. He's also the one who sets up the lights that light up the different buildings. You have the Citadel kind of in red and City Hall in blue.
Yeah.
They look like a couple of big presents, sitting there on the square.
Really his float should be the finale, the grand finale. We might want to mention that to him next year.
Okay, I'm not
phenomenal. It's just so huge.
They had different groups. I got to tell you a story.
Pick the order of the floats.
So toward the front was were the folks from Marion Aldersgate Church, which is the church that we attend.
Yeah.
And they were marching along, and right behind them were the marching Wildcats, the Marion High School marching Wildcats. And I saw Clint Benish, who's the director of student ministries at Aldersgate this morning. I saw him in Crown Brew. And he was telling me that, he was just kind of taking his sweet time walking along, handing out flyers to people, the church handing out information to folks along the way. And the next thing he knew, he was in the flute section. He didn't know how he got there, but he knew he better get out of there. And he found his way back up to his group up ahead. He said those kids were booking. They were walking fast.
Yeah.
They were moving right along, and among them was my daughter.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And Sophia was in this. Now here's another story. Sophia was in the saxophone section, and Sophia hasn't marched all fall. They typically march at football games, and they have a competition. She had done a little of the football games, but they have a competition band that she had to drop out of because of an ankle injury. So she hasn't been marching. And they load all the uniforms onto these trailers, and they bring them to these parades and these events, and then the kids get dressed right there. So the kids just come straight to the trailer, get their uniforms on, and go find a place to put them on. And when she got to the trailer, she realized her uniform was not there. She didn't have her uniform. She didn't have her shoes. And fortunately, her boyfriend, Brody, was on a float and was not marching with the band. And so she grabbed Brody's uniform and put it on and wore his shoes and walked in this parade. Now, Brody is just, I think he's gotten taller.
Oh, yeah.
But he's still, he's maybe slightly smaller than Sophia. And Sophia's just, she's shaped like a woman, and Brody's not. And she said her pants.
That's the difference.
She said her pants were a little tight in certain places. And so, but the shoes apparently fit well enough for her to march, and she got through it. But Brody's band, Nuke the Whales. Let's give a shout out to Nuke the Whales. Nuke the Whales, Brody and his friend Cooper and their friend Harlan, their friend Jackson. This 4-piece band, heavy metal. They can really thrash. But last night they were also playing Carol of the Bells on their float, and it sounded really good.
Yeah.
Nuke the Whales is getting quite a following.
Little old story. I was a drummer, and I was in a marching band, did all that for years down in Memphis. And I remember we had situations like that. They would always rob from the drummers. So if somebody forgot something, they would take our coats.
Yeah.
And then we would all have no coats on.
Yeah.
So no telling what we had on. So we would do that, or they'd take the hat.
And your kid.
We did have pants. I remember one time because we wound up in jeans, and because we were the drummers.
Drummers are traditionally more laid back. That's why.
Yeah, and always in trouble.
Don't set boundaries.
Yeah.
No.
And always in trouble, right?
I can date myself on this. What's really funny is that I remember we used to have what they called tension relieving sessions every Friday. This is back in the day when there was a paddle. And so I was the drummers. The drummers, we lined up every Friday because we had TR sessions. So we got so used to we wound up getting paddled every Friday. And I was the good drummer. I was actually the good kid, but I would get lined up there, and I would ask my band director, why am I getting licks every week? And he said, because you're a drummer. You're in the section, and you know what? He always said, man, you're supposed to be a good example to them, and you're failing that completely. They all mess up. And he said, because of that, you're in it too. And he said, it's all part of the team. Take it for the team.
Wow. This is starting to sound like, the movie that came out where the drum student kid has the very abusive instructor? What movie was that?
I don't know.
Have you seen this movie? I'll have to look that one up.
He did this with a smile. It was always...
He paddled you with a smile.
Yeah, it was the funny... In fact, we just were... I can't remember those days.
When you're high schoolers and you're getting swats.
High schoolers. It was just hilarious.
Those were the days, man.
They called them TR sessions or paddling. He was never harsh or anything, but it was that.
This hurts me more than it hurts you.
Did it hurt? Did it hurt?
Nah, he wasn't too. But I was so used to it. I'm sorry. It was the coaches I was more concerned about when they got you back then. That was the days, and that's a long time ago. You know that
Kids
doesn't happen anymore.
Did you ever get a paddling in school?
Kids, they don't know what they're missing. You know what? I never was paddled.
You were not paddled.
Man.
Can I say I was paddled in school?
Oh,
you were? Yeah.
I did. When I was in second grade.
Second grade.
I got a paddling.
Mine was quite often. Twice because I punched a kid in the face, little things like that. Big bully who invited me over to his house after that. He was a bully of the school.
What I remember about it is, and again, I witnessed a lot of they would actually pull a kid out to witness the paddling of another student. Did that ever happen at your school?
It seemed like there
I was brought out as the witness to am I supposed to testify in court? No, she didn't hit him that hard. What am I supposed to do?
I don't know. Yeah, there was a student there witnessing it.
But back in elementary school, they were using like ping pong paddles. Or like those little paddles that you'd have the rubber ball attached, and they snap off the rubber ball, and that's what they were hitting you with. Jumped 1 grade to 7th grade, and all of a sudden they got these boards this long with holes in them.
That's
that's hanging on the walls, and the coaches are
most of it. I thought was just for fear, the fear factor. I don't remember. The other thing is, none of these were. You hear these horrible stories, but it's funny. I look back now; it's actually a laughing time because it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the paddle that was used on me was a long paddle. It was long. And did
it have holes in it?
I can't remember.
It had to have holes in it. That allows the speed.
And it allows the air to go out of the way. There's not a pad there. Because I remember I was always happy. We had a math teacher that, for some reason, I wound up on occasions. And she was a woman. She had one. I'm like, she doesn't know what she's doing because she has air in the paddle. I didn't even feel it.
It was the psychological part.
That's what it was.
To the paddle, that was pure torture. Walking down the hallway.
So anyway, I don't know who went from Christmas to paddling back in the day, which nobody can even imagine now. But
it was all part of it.
6, 7 years old.
It's a Christmas story. It's just like the movie The Christmas Story. There's a little bit of all of it, right?
Oh yeah.
There was Christmas magic, and there were adults hitting you. That's school, but
and there was a kid with their tongue stuck to the pole.
Yeah, there always was. I did do that. That did happen to me.
You did?
That did. I didn't get paddled for it, but that did happen.
Did that happen?
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
sure.
Goodness.
Before I saw the movie, I thought that was a good idea.
Yeah, I think when I was little, the frost in the freezer looked like a snow cone to me.
Oh,
and I got this,
and
I was pretty young, and I was like making the connection with the frost in the snow cone, and I went to lick it, and I got my tongue stuck, and then they had to peel my tongue off the freezer.
Quite a childhood.
It made sense. It does look like a snow cone, right, to a 4-year-old.
Well, let's get back to talking about.
Sorry about that.
Sorry, everybody.
I brought that in, but
yeah.
It was just
memories
of the band. TR
took a bad
sessions.
turn there, but no. So many great people made both those events happen. So many folks volunteered their time. And then you've got a lot of folks that are employed by these cities that also put in a lot of time. But the point I made on the live stream, and if you haven't seen the Marion Parade, you can actually, when we had it shot a little segment at Hometown Christmas, so that's on the Heron Independent Facebook, you'll see Monica there. And then you'll see us with Aaron Price broadcasting last night's Marion Parade. You can find that on WFCN and the Marion Star Facebook. And what I said on there was that, you have these folks who, whether it's part of their job or whether they're volunteers, all of them take that extra step. All of them go above and beyond the call of duty to make it extra special. And the setting we had, the platform they had for us, the table, the beautiful Christmas decorations on it, that Jill Graskowitz from the Senior Center, who kind of heads up the committee for this, had done. Jessica Force has been involved in pulling off all the very Merry Marion stuff from the beginning, including the parade. And so shouts out to them, shouts out to all of those who go the extra mile to make these memories, very special, these little elements of it. You had the circus people, jugglers and guys on unicycles and stilts walking around the whole time, and I was just like, wow, and they were perfect. They were saying the perfect things. They were.
Yeah, the reindeer looked very happy.
Yeah,
hopping around.
Yeah, it was great. And
were they real reindeer? I missed that.
Well, there was a girl on stilts, and she was in a rainbow.
Okay.
She was in a reindeer costume.
Had a lot of fake reindeer at this parade last night. I'm not sure I saw any real ones, but Santa was there. Santa was there,
and Mrs. Claus,
and about half a dozen Grinches. We don't know which one was the real one.
Yes.
VeryMerryMarion.com if you want to see what else there is involved with there's a Christmas market coming downtown within a couple of weeks. look for that on verymerrymarrying.com. We'll probably talk more about that next week.
It's a good time to get something unique.
Right.
Yeah.
And buy from some of our local vendors, entrepreneurs, small
Local
businesses.
people.
Mhm. Yeah. So as we look into the Christmas season, I've got an idea. Here's my idea. I think that we should give our listeners, our watchers, a chance to tell us their favorite Christmas song. Okay. Tom had his thing where 2 weeks ago he hated Christmas music. Now he likes Christmas music. I won't go into the details, but he had a change of heart right after Thanksgiving.
After Thanksgiving.
Okay.
I love it after Thanksgiving.
And we all have our favorite Christmas songs, or maybe several favorites, but narrow yours down to one. Get into the comments. Let us know somehow over the next few weeks what your favorite Christmas song is. And here's the promise. Whichever song gets the most votes, we will perform it for you. The three of us will perform that song for you. We will each take a part, and we will sing it. We will sing it together. It will have orchestration. It will be beautifully rendered. And I didn't talk. I'm sorry. Did I forget to tell you guys this?
Yeah.
No, please let it be Frosty the Snowman or something like that. That kids sing.
Or good King Wenceslaus.
Wenceslaus.
No, I'm
And
sure it'll be something beautiful.
hopefully it'll still be people's favorite after they hear our version.
No,
How
that's what
about
we're trying
Jingle
to
Bells?
destroy.
We can do that
Favorite.
one. We'll get very.
Well, yeah. I mean, who's gonna? Yeah, Jingle Bells is all right. Jingle Bells is kind of like.
But Monica and I can probably sing that one.
It's like singing Happy Birthday or something.
Bells.
That's the point.
I mean, no.
That's the point.
No, don't be afraid to challenge us a little bit.
Don't want to butcher a serious song about the birth of Christ. That's the biggest thing.
We won't. No, we won't. I don't. Why are you assuming we're going to butcher it? I've heard each of your voices, and they each have voices, and they will sing. They each will sing, and I will sing too. And when they put the three together, it just could turn into magic. It could be magical. It'd be a magical moment.
Black magic.
Yeah. Well,
See?
listen. We will let you be the judges of it and decide whether it ever needs to happen again. But I think it's a perfect
that'll
time
happen real
to
quick.
do that.
Okay. We'll do it.
Also, there are a couple other stories that we're going to tell over the next couple of weeks. We've gotten reached out to by some folks who are involved with Quilts of Valor. It's a quilting group, and they present quilts to veterans. And we're going to see if we can talk to them. There's also the other thing that my son Ross shared with me, and I actually heard from the authors. There's a married couple that have written a children's book.
Really?
Yeah, and this children's book stars their dogs.
Oh, that's
And these are a pair of dogs that the book is, and we'll try to get them on next week. A pair of dogs that the whole story is about how these dogs listen to the sounds of Marion, and it's really well illustrated. And I've seen just a little bit of it, but very cute book. And I'd love to. I think, Tom, we may try to potentially do a video interview with them, a remote interview with them, and see if we can get them and their dogs.
Oh, that'd be great.
From
yeah.
the comfort of their home on here with us, just to talk a little bit about it.
Or bring the dogs in, set them right there on the table.
Well, we might do that as well. We'll talk to them and see what they want to do. But they have reached out to us, so we're going to try to make that happen and share the story and tell you how to get that book for your kids this Christmas. Well, did you have anything else for today?
I think we basically covered it all.
Yeah, I think we recapped it. Is that everything that we've done? Tom?
Well, I was trying to think. You were talking about Christmas songs. What else were we talking about? We didn't get into how many times I stood in the corner. That was the other thing that happened.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll cover all of that eventually.
Yeah.
All the disciplinary actions against Tom when he was a child.
I was a good kid, though. I really was. I went to private school, so my parents paid for this to happen to me. So it was a difference. Hey, there's so many other things. You said something in the beginning that having to do with the music, and we were talking a little bit about music and songs.
Right.
So, again, in details, so what does somebody need to do if they want to submit their favorite song?
Yeah, so if you want to cast a vote, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can put it right in the comments on YouTube. If you are listening to it, then jump on our Facebook pages later. We share links to these podcasts. It's a good place that you can come on and share your comments. Or, hey, I'll say this: if enough people say please don't, then that will win. Okay.
There's my category right there.
Neither of you could vote. Take other people. But no, I want to hear some favorite Christmas songs. Maybe we'll put a poll on one of our Facebook pages and let people vote on that, and that might be what we go with.
Do you want to share ours right now, just to inspire people?
Well, I have a hard time narrowing it down. I find myself.
I have a lot of them too.
Once we get into the season, and I did the season last night. I found all these different songs going through my head, but I think the one that I think of more than other, because I love the whole that is sprung up during World War II, was "I'll Be Home for Christmas." I love that song. Now, other songs from that era, of course, "White Christmas" and others are also very, very well loved. But the "I'll Be Home for Christmas," if only in my dreams, that always gets me.
Yeah.
These soldiers singing "I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dreams." Do you have anything that you can think of?
Well, it's hard to pick. There are so many great Christmas songs, and some of them just have memories from childhood. Singing, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Those are just little childhood memory type of songs. And then there's songs like "Oh Holy Night."
Oh, Holy Night, yeah.
I like to worship to that song. And "Joy to the World." I love "Little Drummer Boy," like I said before. Like, it's really hard to pick. It's, the full spectrum of music for this time is so special.
Do you know how Rudolph got his start?
I did. I read the story about the dad that wrote the story for his son because his son was being bullied. So he wrote the story about Rudolph to encourage him.
And then that turned into a Gene Autry song. Gene Autry, the Singing Cowboy. Do you know Gene Autry?
I do not.
Okay. You know Gene Autry.
I know who he is.
Yeah.
Don't know him personally.
Went on to own the California Angels, now the Los Angeles Angels. But he was the original singing cowboy, an actor who decided to take on this cowboy persona and sing on these old movies. My dad loved Gene Autry, and you'd go, back when he was a kid, you'd go to the movies like every Saturday and sit there all day long and pay just a few cents per movie to sit and watch these serial that they would make, these little fun cowboy movies, and Gene Autry was the star of many of them. And that was a song that he recorded, became a big hit, and then it became the animated movie that we came to know and love. So the story came first, I guess, then the song, and then the animated special that was made, I think, in 1966 is when that dates to.
Oh yeah.
It's a long time ago now, but people still love it.
Oh yeah.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed. How about you, Tom?
It's funny. You think of the many hymns and things that I absolutely love, like "Silent Night," things like that. Those are, those are the great ones you can't do. Some of the songs, Burl Ives, who did Rudolph, all these other ones.
Yeah.
I tell you, the voice, for some reason, I guess maybe of my generation, that I consider anything Karen Carpenter did, like "Merry Christmas, Darling." Just that voice when she would sing Christmas songs. You can pretty much give me any one that she did. I love those. I don't know why. I just like that resonant voice.
And she did Christmas specials as well.
Yeah.
I could picture one where that may have been, "Merry Christmas, darling. I wish you Merry Christmas. Happy New Year too."
Yeah.
I could just picture her walking out to a mailbox for some reason in that scene. She was a beautiful voice, beautiful lady, and so sad that her life ended young, because that's a voice that we could have listened to for decades.
Those are the songs, and there's so many other ones. I mean, you have little fun songs like Feliz Navidad, different songs like that. But I still, for some reason, I go back to the beautiful hymns and the more that you get into, which I think most of them, I was looking at something for somebody yesterday, now public domain, and they go way back that are really interesting.
Yeah.
The Silent Night, "O Holy Night," and
the story of that.
"Come All You Faithful," all these other ones.
Story of Silent Night. You've probably heard the story where it was a German pastor whose organ had
I learned it in German, but I can't remember anything. He said "Nacht."
Stille Nacht.
Yeah.
And he had his church's organ was not working, and so he composed a song to sing on the guitar. That was Silent Night.
Oh, okay.
Stille Nacht. All right, well, that's your start. We've given you some ideas there. You can vote for any of those or come up with another favorite. Maybe you want each of us to sing different songs. Maybe you want Monica to sing Rudolph by herself.
Yeah.
We'll consider all your suggestions.
And I'll sing "Merry Christmas, Darling" like Carolyn Carpenter.
Well, not like Karen
Karen
Carpenter, but it's a song
Carolyn.
it's a song she sang.
Yeah,
You may
I
not
couldn't
sing
do
it
that.
quite like Karen.
No, no.
What's your favorite song?
I'm going to go with "I'll Be Home for Christmas."
Yeah. And then is that the one you could also sing that too?
I could sing that.
Along with the other.
Neil
songs
Diamond
that's
doesn't do a lot of Christmas music, so or it'd be a Neil Diamond song.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe I need to see if there's a Neil Diamond album. But you know, I like my Neil Diamond.
Yeah.
Normally karaoke, that's what I would be going for. But we'll do Christmas this time. All right, folks. Well, that's our launch to the Christmas season. It's the second day of Christmas, December 2nd. On the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me what?
The second day?
Yeah.
Doves. Right?
How many?
2.
How many? What kind of doves?
I don't know. On the
2 turtle
second
doves.
day- Oh, there you go.
2
I'd
turtle
have to
doves.
sing it
Have
to
you ever
get
gotten it? Nobody's ever given you turtle doves?
No.
Have you ever seen a turtle dove?
Wait, isn't there chocolates that are called turtles?
Yeah, but is that
They're
what
not
that
doves,
is?
No.
And they're these animals in shells.
I have seen.
Have feathers in the back.
I have seen.
Turtle doves have shells and feathers.
Yeah. Well,
I think
See, I've
s-
never seen one, so I'm a little skeptical about
I've
that.
seen turtle doves. I'm sure.
You've seen turtle doves? Okay. Why do you think they're called turtle doves?
I have no idea.
You know, we were signing off, and then we got off on that. So, anyway, second day of Christmas, 2 turtle doves and a partridge
In a pear tree.
in a pear tree. Hey, we appreciate you hanging in here with us through our conversations, and we'll have more real information for you, I'm sure, next week. Meanwhile, jump in there and tell us what your favorite Christmas song is, and we appreciate sharing our Squared Up hour with you, half hour, how much time this was. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.